Hey folks, Automatic here. For the channel you are currently watching, I hope this stream finds you well. I'm doing good. Praying a rural starfire. That's playing a little Starfield. And this scantily clad lady is Gidget Pox, one of my three characters. I basically have a character representing sort of pirates. So while doing the pirate quest, one sort of representing the UC. Actually, that one's full-fledged representing the UC. And then the third one is kind of freestar, used loosely. So I essentially got one character doing freestar missions, but he's kind of like, he's already done them. I like to think that he served with the freestar a long time ago, and now he's a trucker. The UC guy, he's Navy, so he's still living it. And then you've got Gidget here. She's about halfway through the pirate storyline. I stopped because I did that storyline as the UC guy. So I sort of stopped with her and have been somewhat sidetracked. Obviously, she's on a breathable planet, right? Hey, True, how you doing? Now, I'm kind of drunk, he says. Now, fair warning. Nice. Oh, it is Friday, isn't it? Everywhere? Not everywhere. Everywhere that matters. But how you doing, man? Good to see you. Mr. Odd Noble, good to see you. Pretty much, Odd, I told you I'd stream, and here I is. I'd stream the Starfield anyways. I did say I'd show some of the mods. Before mods, there's... Because I didn't really have a plan for this. I was just kind of in the course of doing what I normally would be doing in Starfield, and then I thought, well, you know what, let's stream. And what I'm doing now is trying to set up another outpost, but I want it set up near a point of interest. And I believe there's mods for that. Certainly on PC there probably are. As for me, I have to kind of glitch it. So to do that, and this may work, I may get fed up and stop. But to do that, you can see that this is red. Obviously, I'm in the radius of that outpost. And I don't know, you might be familiar with this glitch, might not, but essentially you want to find the edge. There it is. God, this would be tricky on the hill like this. Let me see if I can find a better spot for it without falling, really. Yeah, that's good. That's great right there. I think. I don't know. Essentially what I'm going to do is just keep... Nah, that didn't work, obviously. Okay. You can accidentally put it past a red line if you do it fast enough or whatever. And that's what I want to do. And essentially, once you do, like, so this thing's got this radius, this do not build radius around it, just like any point of interest. Once you break it, even if you break it by like an inch, like just get your outpost beacon like just inside the boundary, you break it. What do I mean by that? You could destroy the outpost again, the outpost beacon, and now the like no build radius is gone. So at that point, you just walk right up to the point of interest. So I'm gonna keep trying that. Damn, your character, isn't she? She's definitely my scantily clad one. As is her whole crew. There's a there's multiple other perversion aside. There are other reasons that I came up with after the fact. No, actually, like, so her ship, it's I like the impression, like, it's dirty, it's cramped, a lot of pipes. Not that that's here nor there, but I like the impression that, like, the climate control in her ship is not very efficient, if that makes sense. So whereas, like, maybe on a UC warship, everything's perfectly climate controlled, as it should be in space, right? But hers is just a little off. And I don't know what the real world implications of that would be. I guess it would just mean, like, dumping heat more often. But in the meantime, you're going to be uncomfortable. And then I just got so accustomed to her looking like this that now when she goes out, she dresses this way. I imagine she turns heads, which probably isn't what you want for a smuggler. So let's try this again. So there's... I think if I'm looking downhill... There it is. There it is. Stop sliding. Okay. Nope. Damn it. I'm just going to keep messing up. That's what the whole stream is going to be. All good. I'm just inclined to let the patrons know I'm drunk out of respect. I think that's the gentlemanly thing to do. I like it. You don't just make it an Epstein camp. You will be put on a list. Just don't make it an Epstein camp. Honestly, I've been like one thing. So I've made Gidget here involved in the Aurora trade. So she's a smuggler, but she's not your Han Solo, right? I don't know that Han Solo was smuggling space cocaine. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think he was smuggling crap for the rebellion, but like guns or whatever. It's always the impression I got. Like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Han Solo was like contributing to like the delinquency of minors and shortening lives through the sale of hard narcotics. Yeah, who knows? But that's what I would say is the distinction here, is right. So she's smuggling some hard stuff, meaning her moral alignment is. When I made her, I thought she seduced her way to the top, but I think she's probably too I don't think she's that loose, to be honest, despite the way she dresses. I think she would play that card, but I think she'd just as soon kill somebody. So definitely, like, evil aligned, but opportunist. Okay. Let's just keep trying. We're gonna get it. Wait. We didn't just get it, did we? I doubt it. No, we didn't. So essentially, like, I'm just pressing place and forward at the same time. We're gonna fool it. That didn't fool it. Wait a minute. No, that didn't do it. Hey, Alhoon, how you doing? Good to see you, man. Han Solo was an opportunist. He would smuggle anything for anyone to pay. Peter, he stole from Paul. Yeah, you're probably right. I guess he did smuggle for Jabba, which Jabba probably isn't the only gangster he smuggled for. So yeah, he probably was smuggling some stuff that would contribute to the delinquency of minors. How did I do it at the other camp? I think... Yeah, I don't think we have to go too crazy. I mean, we just don't really have to get it way over the line. Hey, Water. Long time, man. Yeah, well, you know, I really haven't been on YouTube that much. Although, you know, now this is 2 streams in 1 week. That's progress, or the antithesis of progress, depending on one's point of view, right? Yeah, this isn't working here. I don't think that did it. No, I can still see that line. That's a sign that we haven't broken it yet. What happened here? Wow. Alright, that was brief. But yeah, that morning sun casts a real a blue light. It was cool. Anyways, you know, I guess this game and I have a little bit of a love-hate thing. Just I didn't find it super impressive, but at the same time, you know, come on, is it a good foundation that you can grow some stuff on? I think so. I don't think I'm the only one that had that view, and now with mods, I'm going to stop this. I'm not going to make the whole stream be doing this, by the way. Because it's not like this camp's going anywhere. I can come back and do this. Where is the split? That's... Why does your Pokeball have a chimney? Because, you know, well, Pokemon have to breathe. Plus, they let off, that's what it is, they let off those excess gases and stuff. It's one thing that the playing cards won't convey is how much gas a little Pikachu makes. Am I the only one that thinks about these things? Probably not, but it's a niche group. I get it. What am I trying to do? So I'm bored with the outpost, right? I don't know, you probably, you played Starfield, right? You maybe relate. You can build an outpost on a point of interest. And that's what I'm trying to do. And I'm not that adept at it, obviously. Essentially, you can break, as long as you can get that beacon within bounds once, just by glitching it, even if it's just by a hair, you break the do not build radius around the point of interest. Now you might be saying, okay, well, the outpost beacon also has a radius around it, so does it even reach as far as the point of interest? And that's kind of the beauty of it. Once you get it inside that do not build radius is broken permanently, meaning you can now disassemble your outpost beacon and move it right up to the point of interest. But I don't think I'm going to break this, so I am going to move on, and I'll. Gosh, so tempted to keep going, but because why does it feel like it's almost? I'm going to try one last time. Didn't do it. And it plays that music like you just accomplished something. Though I know it's just another failure. Yeah. It's not happening. Let's get back to the ship. Anyhow, what I want to do, this planet. So I mentioned that she's trading in narcotics, and obviously Aurora is the big one, or in chems. Aurora is the big one, and she's really not even totally set up yet. She's looking for stimulant, hallucinogen, benzene. Benzene's a mineral, so you can mine that. That's the one where there's no trouble getting it. Getting stimulants and hallucinogen is a little more difficult, especially since, from my experience, a lot of creatures that carry some form of hallucinogen on them, they're the kind of creatures you can't put in a ranch. And I'm sure there's some exceptions. I just haven't found them yet. So I'm looking for stimulant or hallucinogen in plant form. Here you have the stimulant. Might even have benzene, that'd be nice, because even though benzene is easy to come by, it'd be nice to get a twofer, you know? So that's what she's doing here, but so I'm going to be building some greenhouses. My first thought was, if I can build near points of interest, I'd like to find a point of interest with pirates, because she's allied with the pirates. So essentially you'd be finding a dungeon, and you've got allies there. The allies will respawn. Everything at the point of interest will respawn. That's why you wouldn't want to use any of the containers there, for sure. You might be able to use your own. I'm gonna have to test that and find out. Let's see. For everyone that doesn't know, Otto is trying to find the cure of all diseases in the world, and let people realize that some mountains are actually petrified trees. Perforated, I almost said. How do you perforate a tree? I guess I'd ask a logger. Maybe there's something analogous to that. Not played Starfield yet. Ah, gotcha. Whether you're missing out, I guess it depends on who you ask. You know, as you probably know. I'm certainly I don't know, if somebody honestly asked me, I don't know if I'd recommend it, although I am having more fun with mods now. The key for me is, look, if we can turn this into a sandbox, I'm good. I've never been an achievement hunter or anything like that. But let me do what I want. And this is my third character, and so, along with the other mods she has, man, just getting her leveled up was bothering me, especially with the unlockable stuff, like a ship part, you know, where I'm thinking, that should not be tied to level. If you've got the money, they've got the part. They don't care if you know how to use it or not. Anyway, obviously that's not the way it is in Starfield. So one of the mods gives you 5 times the XP. So she's leveling quick now. Vanilla, she was up to maybe level 20, 21, something around there. I don't know. Was that the... Let me get out my scanner. Since I'm always running HUDless. One thing I've noticed about the scanner that I don't like, they should give you like empirical direction there. Like there should be a compass. Why are we not? That's weird. I don't know. Did I scan that 100%? Wow, okay. I suck, and there's some spread. Combined, there's no way. Of course, if I'm going to be doing this, see, I think they've got stimulant, too. You do need the HUD for that stuff. And obviously for plants. That's where we came from, right? So in terms of mods, her outfit is one. I mean, at first glance, one might think that's just the default underwear in the game, but no. Got a lot of clothing mods, which for her is easy. Her and her crew. That's something I can easily indulge in. What I've noticed is like there's not a whole lot of United Colonies mods. I guess, you know, they do wear uniforms, so there's a certain, you know, lack of individuality anyways at play. But for her and the other character, yeah, clothing mods have been nice.
Fingers crossed for
Oh, you know what? Here's one of the mods. This is the bad fish or ship. I guess I'll give you a better exterior shot once we take off. Does it have the cockpit? No, this is the default. This is a default interior as well. But like I was saying, like, a lot of piping, a lot of machinery. Like, I wanted to give the impression that her ship was, like, temperature-wise, it's, like, not as controlled as it should be. I don't know. Eleonora's Habs. I don't know that I put many in this ship. Yeah, this is default. I think these are... yeah. So here's one. It's an armory. I think one of the great things about this one is that it's a 1x1, which you don't otherwise get a 1x1 armory. As such, it's yeah, it's kind of nice. Normally it has trash on the floor, I removed that because since I am mixing default Habs and her Habs, that was too stark a difference. It was kind of like, oh, why is Gidget and her crew sweeping the floor in here but not in there? But there is a patch to her Pirate Hab mod that cleans up that stuff. Otherwise, there is storage. I forget which is. You know what? Let's. Is it interface? Yeah. Let's get a modicum of a HUD. Since we're looking for containers. Weapon case, of course. Okay, yeah. Oh, it's not for decorative purposes, I suppose. You could use it, but it's not really a container. What's that say? You take my stuff again, you die. Got the mannequins. You know, I mean, since she's so scantily clad, she prefers her mannequins just straight up naked. That's it's art, not. So okay. Got a storage box. And I mean, you could always add storage boxes by decorating. Over here, this is cargo. This is a cargo room, and it's actually, I think it's generous with the cargo space. Being a 1x1, I couldn't tell you how much cargo it gives you, but I know she flat out said she was going to be more generous because to her it didn't make sense that you had such limited cargo space when, like, to the naked eye, you clearly had plenty of space that wasn't being used. And down here we've got the workshop. I do like the logo. The unfortunate thing about some of these mods is, like, I think in time we will get so much of this stuff anyways, you know, via free mods, because a lot of the mods, including the paid mods, are obviously reusing assets, and you know, I just feel like those assets would come available anyways. That said, I can't detract from. I think Eleonora's got an eye for decoration for sure. We do have the adoring fan here. I never really take him on the road. It's usually one of the ladies. Jasmine, she see, I wanted to keep her outfit somewhat piratey, so it's still got the like, is basically pirate parts, but they've mod author, I almost said odd mother, turned it into short shorts. Which if you're gonna be on this crew, unless you're the adoring fan, it's short shorts. I feel like they're all down with the Aurora, like maybe Sophia Grace may be the least of which. She's got more of an athletic look about her. I guess it's the jogging shorts, but not that you can't be athletic and do Aurora. I mean, after all, it slows time. It's going to help with your game. Oh, her ship's damaged. And I don't think she has parts. Well, I'm going to want to come back to that precise location. For now, we'll head to another one of her outposts where I've been using one of the mods. if she switches ships, I can show off the rest of the pirate habs. I think the pirate habs run about $5. I got 1,000 credits from pre-ordering the game, but I also had other credits. I had 2,100, so I think they're from like Fallout 4's Creation Club. I think they're the same pool. I'm not sure, but I can't otherwise explain why I have them. The Badfish, it's a small ship. I used some glitching to get some of the parts in there. Most notably, I would say like the grav drive and the reactor. I glitched them into each other, so they're only taking up one spot. It's good. I'm gonna get to a point where all of my ships are using glitches, if not mods. But I'm a little leery to put the mods on the ships yet, except for the like Bethesda made or paid mods. We are going to make the jump up to Numeria. Okay, so she deals in Aurora. I've said over and over. She kind of wanted a place to do that. And that's what Numeria is for her. It's a bit of a retreat. And it is a work in progress, but I'm using a mod for it, which is the... I'll have to check the name right after this jump. It offers buildings. A lot of them look like Skyrim buildings, which I'm not very fond of. And they're ridiculously massive. This is a mess. Yeah, dude, she's not helping you. I could just load onto the planet. But these asteroids were very much like, hey, you want to fly through us? And I thought, yes, I will oblige you. Alright, now our course looks clear. Oh, I wonder if we can see the island, because this outpost is set up on an island in the ocean that I swear it's only taken up like 2 to 4 pixels. And I want to walk the length of it because I know I can. So you got the Love Shack and the Lighthouse. Those names are tentative, okay? Oh yeah, I gotta find benzene.
This area's just gorgeous. Oh, I can't wait to explore.
I wanted to spawn in on the ship. Gotta mess with that. Not necessarily on the ship, but on the launch pad. So this is part of a mod called... Which one is it? TG's Luxury Homes. It runs $600 or $700. In other words, $6 or $7. It's... The problem with it is that it's massive Skyrim homes. Let's see, before I do any kind of tour, I'll show some of the homes. Okay, yeah, here they are. So, like, in this case, we're using this building called the Dawn Estate. This is one of but a handful of buildings that is lifted from the game. This would be like Freestar Aquila kind of architecture. I don't know if this is Sam Coe's house. I think it might be. Um, then you have the Dream Estate. This one's a little harder for me to identify, but nonetheless, it's still Freestar architecture, as you see in the game. I see to the right. I don't know if that's a barn or what. Maybe this is one of the houses on Montera Luna, the Montana planet. I'm not sure, but the next one is the Dream Home. Now, I don't have a character that had the Dream Home in game, but I'm guessing that's what this is. Guessing it's a recreation of that, so you'd be talking like United Colonies style architecture and uh, pretty luxury, I guess, judging from the name. There you go, Dream Home Volume 2, because it comes with a little garden with 4 little reflection pools, or pools nonetheless. And then Dream Villa, which is, what's his name's villa? I'm not going to remember his name, but nonetheless, kind of Jemison style architecture. Stuff that belongs in the game. There's just 5 of them. Otherwise, you have houses like that. Cannot stress enough how large that is. How, with such a limited, like, inventory of building items for, like, interiors, I don't know. I would have a hard time decorating this place. I would just get sick of it. Are they, like, now some of these, the smallest of the group, which there are, like, it might be 4 small ones, but even those. So this is, I mean, you saw by comparison how small this building is. Can I place it? Yeah, I can. Okay. So yeah, let's go to it. Because it's one of the smallest buildings in the pack. Like I said, there's 4 small buildings. There's like 30 plus large ones. And the large ones are unreasonably large. I do like the working doors and whatnot. I like the windows as well. It's a nice touch. So you can see that. I guess those are torches on the other side, huh? So you can see that, like, it's a good sized space. It's a large space. And yet it's one of the smallest offerings. And I mean, I just can't get away from the idea that, like, it screams Skyrim. Maybe not the window glass per se, but some of the houses don't have window glass. All that said, like, this bridge going across, not really a bridge, but more like a wall, a road, it was in the same mod pack, and I think it kind of comes in handy. The NPCs are hit or miss in terms of their pathing on this stuff. But anyhow, it's like, I do like the mod because it gives you some options other than airlocked habs. And that's kind of what I want to get away from on some of these planets where you can breathe or whatever. There's another small one. Similar architecture, just same architecture, just this entrance is located in a different area. But I don't know. I mean, you could build a village, and it takes a village, so they say. So there's that to keep in mind. But that's a lot of buildings. There's 30 of them. Here's another small one. That's kind of cool. Okay, let's check that one out. Because I'm much more inclined to use those. You know, especially for her. I don't want her to... This is a weird setup. Well, why would you even have that? I guess maybe I don't have it pushed into the ground all the way. This could be done. Because, I mean, one room or the other is plenty to sell the idea that a character resides there.
I didn't know you heard me.
Anyhow, one of my favorite aspects of this particular spot is that it's on this little island. I mean, it's a big island, but whatever. Like I said, like 2 or 4 pixels. And I put it on the corner of the landmass. So you got water on one side, water on the other side. Yeah, you have land back there, but it's clear that this place is on a peninsula. And it's just got a certain look to it, a certain vibe to it. Now, again, I'm hating the fact that the HUD's on. Oh well. I'll keep it on because for practicality's sake. Now, who am I kidding? That's nice looking. You can always turn the HUD back on. Yeah. I like. So initially I was going to build a lighthouse here, a tower. I didn't. It's about as close as it gets, and that's not even what I was going for when I put the light up there. Truly what this is just like it's the drop-off pickup point. Hey, Zero! How you doing, man? It's kind of the pickup drop-off point for coming to this planet. And it is where we will bring the ingredients for Aurora and manufacture them into Aurora. And this house is going to be instrumental in that. It's not there yet. In fact, I am going to redo it because I want it to look like a place where, like, I kind of already am trying to give that impression with like contraband crates lying around. It's not impressive. None of it's impressive, really. But it's Yeah, this will be the house where they put together the Aurora. I think I want to move the lab equipment somewhere. Some of this stuff is from mods too, and I'm already like having problems with mods. Like the game crashes more than it used to, and in certain settings, what should be metallic is turning black. Kind of remember that from Fallout 4. Well, it's happening here too. Um, and I'm betting that it's my load order or something, which I haven't messed with the load order at all. So that would not surprise me in the least. And it doesn't seem to be across the board either. Um, for all I know, maybe it's happening just because we're in this house. You know, maybe it's part of the mod or an unfortunate side effect. It is a side effect of some kind of mods. I know that. Okay, so like I said, that's kind of where they're putting together the Aurora. And then you would head inland. We'll check out that house and then move to the Love Shack, which I'll come up with a better name. Oh, that's right, we did check this place out. Oh yeah, can I sink it in? And I'm not keeping it anyways, but like, was that the issue? Huh? No, that was about as sunk in as it gets. Weird. You can just go away. Now, I've initially ventured to this area. Good eye. Anyhow, these creatures, like, so in my goal to create that drug, you need hallucinogen, stimulant, benzene, and the primary ingredient, which is chasm-bass. But these animals that I just killed, I want to say they have hallucinogen on them. That's why I was taking parts off of them. But so that's what brought me to this planet, was the search for stimulant or hallucinogen. And in the process, I came to realize that as it gets dark on Numidia, a lot of the flora starts to glow. I dare say most of it. Now, like right now, you're not seeing that, but the further inland we get, the more noticeable it will be. I didn't hear you shooting at all. it has been a while, Zara. I'm glad too. I just felt like streaming tonight, I guess. Almost streamed Police Simulator again, but I've been spending more time with Fallout, whatever game I'm playing, right? Been spending more time with Bethesda. Oh, they're asleep. Shh. That was slick. Stay away from Sophia Grace. What are we collecting from them? Stimulant or hallucinogen? I don't remember. These are a good source of nutrient. One of these days I'm going to do a challenge where... Oh, you know what? My challenge would be stupid compared to the YouTube thumbnail I saw today for this, which was never use the same ship twice. So you could use a ship to fly to a planet, but you get it. I thought that was an interesting take on survival, because that's what I was thinking, survival. Just start yourself at a shipwreck, of which there's a lot of copy-pasted shipwrecks around here. Or in this game. It's always the same ship, it seems. Unless it's a story mission. Uh-oh. You running, Sophia. She's got a little cloaking device action going. Look at her. Power of the shorts. Are you talking smack? I really didn't think we'd spend this much ammo. Head into the Love Shack. Did you hear that? That was a different creature. Don't wake them up, blast jet. Right. Burn. Meanwhile, Sophia Grace is standing there next to me like, not cool. Let's check the map. God, the idea was that we'd take Aurora buyers and we'd bring them to this planet. And, we'd land back there at the big landing pad pier, and they would trek out here on their own and do some Aurora at the Love Shack. But I think they'd get killed on the way out. I'm gonna try it sometime. There's a mod where I can add combatants. It's not the XCOM mod, which I don't know that they have that for Starfield yet, but the guy that did that for Fallout 4 should do that again. Anyhow, I could disarm them and dress them up like tourists and try to bring them on this expedition, but heck, that might be a good thing for science. Just to see if they survive. I don't think all of them would. I think some of them would die, and I don't know if that's That's worth your Aurora addiction when you can just do it in the comfort of your own living room. Or your own crate box if you live on Neon. Any planet that Gidget and company land on where they don't have to wear spacesuits is a gift. It's just a gift. Did we double back? We did. We were headed the wrong way. Could just fast travel there. Let's do that before night time's up. Cause I mean, then we'll get the full effect. And you want the full effect. Alright. This place, too, is a work in progress. There's no operation going on here, no mining or anything like that. It is a point of interest that I decided that I'd glitch and build in. This is the perfect place to do Aurora. And this like, the fumes that are coming up off the fungus, they're good for you. I mean, they don't hurt. Like this stuff, you just get right in there. So, I mean, we could build a cult around this, is another thought, you know? You give people, you bring them up here. We get, what's his name? Caviar is his last name. A real crazy looking dude, wiry, crazy guy. You put him in some kind of priest robe. You get him up here. He keeps saying his wacky crap that he says anyways. People pay premium to come out here. Some survive, some don't, but the check clears regardless. And me and Sophia Grace, we laugh all the way to the bank with our other two compatriots, Fan and Jessamine. So you can see in here, like, I don't know, I've decorated a little bit. All they do is party here. So I mean, I have build mode decorations put in, but I haven't junked it up yet. And I believe this place will take some junking, you know, like some definite trash. That wasn't bleeding through before, so that's weird. Might be able to cover it up if I can't eliminate it. This is from another paid mod. In fact, the most expensive paid mod. I guess I should show that. But it's nice because I believe it's unlimited storage, or at least I haven't filled it up yet. Plus, it does have a nice look to it. God, all the smoke in the hallway. Scooby-Dooby-Doo! It's like the smoke that comes out of the mystery machine. It's most certainly pot smoke. I kind of think that must be what's happening here. If it's not, let's step away, Sophia Grace. Sophia.
There you are.
There you are.
Enjoy your day.
Enjoy yours. Awesome shirt, by the way. I don't know about her outfit. Might have to revisit that at some point. I mean, because, like, Gidget's got the short shorts thing going and all that, but Gidget has more of a, like, Road Warrior vibe going on. The one downside about Sophia Grace is she's got the exact same haircut, so the mohawk. It's bothered me so much that I've almost had Gidget change her hair. That way Sophia can just rock the, but I don't know. We'll see. Hey, you'll pardon me, I hope, if you let me step away. I'm an hour in, and I like to take a little break. So I'm going to take that little break. Feel free to call it a night, take a break, anything you please as well. So yeah, if during my step away you gotta go, be well. Thanks for being here in the first place. Otherwise, I'll talk to you again in a moment. We'll just stay here in this trippy little paradise, this love shack. That's where it's at. Yeah, okay. She looks like she's not feeling so well right now. I was thinking while I was out there. I forgot to mention this little tent. Is that floating off the ground there? Yes and yes, a little bit. I might be able to cover that up with some junk. But this little tent is part of a free mod. Oh, that's nice too. Oh yeah. So you got the sleeping bag there, so you can even see some of those, like, I don't know if those are bugs or just little mystical lights that transfix your gaze. Whatever they are on Aurora. And you know, I haven't had her do Aurora out here, and I don't think she has any on her. Otherwise, I would break this place in right now. The only way I can break it in at this juncture is to pee on the floor. But despite appearances, she's not going to do that. Alright. So yeah, that little tent shelter is a free mod. I think it's like Build a Farm is what it's called. And I like it. One, it's free. As long as the planet's habitable, I could see it being useful. I guess even if it's not habitable, you could still use it. You'd just be in a spacesuit. That awning and another one similar to it are part of the same mod, plus some fencing and some crops. It's a nice one. Let's head back to, I hate calling it the lighthouse because it's not yet. I shouldn't even say yet. I don't think it's going to be. Also, I don't like where you spawn here. Placing this thing, you can see it's hovering too. I just got it there today. I did that so the NPCs would actually spawn in and around the building, but I don't like that it spawns me here. So I might move it back to where it was, which was at the far end of this bridge. I didn't like that because the NPCs would spawn there and just start walking around over there. But it's preferable to what I have going on now, where the NPCs... I haven't seen them since I've been here. Mickey Caviar is supposed to be walking around here somewhere. And to be honest, since I've built this outpost, I've only seen him once. This is another place where I haven't done junk decorating. But I will. After all, I think that makes a huge difference. I mean, you got to, really. I think we'll switch out ships. We'll switch out the bad fish for the ship that's using the pirate halves. Now let's take a look at all her ships. She's got the bad fish. This is her tried and true. This is my favorite of hers. Just because it's cramped, hot, industrial looking on the inside. The paint scheme on the outside hardly matches, indicating that she's using borrowed parts and all that. Yeah. You know, it's almost got a Boba Fett color scheme to it. Anyway. This is Planetary 773. It's a commercial liner. In fact, maybe I'll show that right now. It doesn't have any weapons. It is fast. But what it does have is, and doesn't show me here, it has 860 shielded cargo capacity. So this is what she uses to drop Aurora off at settlements where you're scanned by the authorities. The idea being, like, the ship's obviously part of a a liner group, you know, and probably doesn't get the kind of thorough scans that an independent ship captain would get. She and the crew have uniforms for this ship to look the part of a crew.
For lunch, Captain.
Although, I mean, still her mohawk and face tattoos, you would think would be a giveaway in 2024, but I just kind of hope that in whatever year this is, it's not. There's the galley. This was spawned in empty, as an empty hab, and I started decorating it. Like anything else, no junk decoration yet. I mean, heck, I just got back into playing Starfield when the mods came out, which was maybe, what, a week ago? Week and a half at most? This is a little lounge area. There was a window here. I haven't figured out what to do with this space yet. I think I'm going to put a shelving unit there to cover that up. I liked the window from the interior, but from the exterior it looked really stupid, like really blocky in a point that should be aerodynamic, you know. So you got that lounge. The lounge is for, like, I don't know, people come down here and eat from the galley. Stewards will hook them up with something. Also, like, if you're disabled and you can't use the ladder, that's where your ticket says you should sit. None of this applies because this is a smuggling vessel. And our uniforms for are essentially the ECS uniforms that you get from the ECS ship. Wait, she does have that on her, doesn't she? Yeah. I mean, you know, she doesn't wear the goggles with it, but probably the boots go too, and all those accessories are gone, but yeah. More professional look, and her hair dye matches the purple, so it's just a win-win for everybody. Here's our little serving trays that the stewardesses would bring up and down the aisle. When she built this, she wasn't high enough rank to have different chairs. I've since found chairs that I'd prefer. I'm just too lazy to change them. That'd be another fun, like, roleplay challenge. Not really a challenge, but use that mod to bring in people, dress them like tourists. I could use that in conjunction with... Ooh. I'm having thoughts, and that's dangerous. Didn't really add any decorations to the cockpit. I might, still. One down... so Numeria is a cool planet. In part because... you got, you know, the stuff glows at night. The flora glows. It's also, I mean, you can find stimulants and hallucinogens here. They are on the animals, and the animals can't be farmed. At least not these ones. But so it's a cool planet. It just doesn't really offer me much other than an aesthetic. One of the downsides is it apparently rains a lot here. When I determined to make an outpost here, it was clear the whole time. And since then, I've noticed, like, yeah, I mean, it'll go days and it will be raining. But if that's the worst of it, it's tolerable because, you know, you got a habitable planet.
It's my second favorite thing in the galaxy. Next to reading.
And you got the trippy lights. And for my money, and for the Aurora business, it doesn't get much better than that.
Amazing. I thought places like this only existed in stories.
It is. It's a storybook story, Sophia Grace. Your name. Oh, don't get sad. It's just your name. There's something up with it. It reminds me of somebody. Sophia Grace. There was a Sophia Grace. And I think she was a child. I think she was this pudgy little talented child. I don't remember if she was talented. And she was on the Ellen DeGeneres show. And that's what's so weird about you being named Sophia Grace. She also has the solicitor. This is much more like, I think, traditionally what a player is trying to make in Starfield. It's like a warship looking thing. This one obviously inspired by a Klingon bird of prey, if you're into Star Treks. But it uses the pirate abs. So let's use it. It is a formidable looking ship. And like I said, it's inspired by the bird of prey. I did watch some videos of various people making birds of prey to try to emulate. But then, of course, I changed some things. Some things drastically, like the wings, the wing ends, landing gears, the bridge. But a lot of the body remains the same. Yeah, speaking of which, Ellen DeGeneres show is going to be the name of my next ship. No, it won't, but if this was Sea of Thieves, maybe. Can you imagine? It's like, I don't know if we want to sail up to it and inquire, or if we want to get as far away as possible. So, what did we do there? We went into a landing bay. Yeah. Okay, so it's just for typical boarding. Coming aboard, this is the first room you're greeted with. And it is a storage room. And it is from the Pirate mod pack, the Eleanor, the $5 pack. This is an empty hab. I guess I haven't decorated this yet, clearly. I do like it though, because it's got the the brig, little jail cell. Oh, okay, I see. So down this ladder, this hab, at the very bottom of the ship, a storage room obviously, but also this is where we board other ships and structures. And being a pirate ship, that's fairly important. So say we board a ship or something like that, and we bring back prisoners, the adjoining room connected to their ship now is our brig. And whatever I end up decorating this with, I'm not sure, confiscated goods or something, right? So that makes sense. Like, you could pull your prisoners aboard as long as this is closed. This is the only part of the ship that they'll ever see. And it's vanilla. It's not like, so yeah, an empty hab, and also not the pirate hab. This we've already seen on the other ship. However, this is the armory. Again, a 1x1 armory, which makes it a bit of a novelty. In fact, since they have pirate propaganda all over it, it kind of that's the only dead giveaway. If you could find something to cover that up, you could use this 1x1 armory, seeing that that's a novelty in its own right, for whatever faction. That's if you can cover that thing up. I don't know. This is pirate as well. Let's we check out the bridge first. Yeah, let's go to the control center. So we had that bottom floor is just storage rooms for entry. Both methods of entry. Coming aboard traditionally like you were on the ground, or from an enemy ship into the brig. Now this is the next floor up from that whole network. And yeah, we'll check out the bridge first. This too is part of the pirate mod. We're not actually on the bridge yet, but obviously this is, I want to say they call it the computer center or the computer core. Let's do a little UE and got more of a computer core here. The lighting is certainly different in these apps, which is cool. More of that red glow. Just a vanilla storage room had to be added to get the neck of the ship going. Guess I could have used a pirate 1x1, but I wouldn't be reusing it, and I don't want that repetition. The bridge. This is a pirate bridge. You got like that. This is a pirate hab. This bridge, this particular cockpit. In so much, I guess, that it's got the lighting, the flag, some nets, so we can catch people. Let's check out the living area aboard this Klingon bird of prey. I think this is cold storage. Yup. Showing off the refrigerator. We got one bar in the galley, where we have our staring contest. I think sometimes there's a table there, depending on how you set this up. I want to say this ladder probably got rid of the table. You suck. Hookah right there, alright. It's the captain's quarters. Which in my universe for this, she is not the captain of this ship, but she's aboard it sometimes. I actually haven't gotten the guy that I want to be the captain of this ship as a companion yet. It's what's his name from the Pirate Quest. Anyhow, in my head canon, that's what makes more sense. She's more of a drug smuggler that's cool with the pirates. She gets a pass. Well, hell, she supplies them, right? This is one of the cooler pirate habs that comes with that mod pack. in that it's got the bar lights. And a pool table with not a whole lot of space to play pool, but I think that's kind of unavoidable with the size of these habs. What can you do? And it's just enough space, I guess. I don't know. Unless you're over here, I mean, then you're really screwed. And we'll just have to wait for the interactive hookah mod so we can use that. Speaking of which, I'll be right back. I don't have a hookah. I think I did, though, but it wasn't mine. So I didn't. But I lived with somebody that had one. Okay. So, is that all the habs? I think I'm missing one. Yeah. There's one up top. So that's all the living space, right? Which I kind of like. I mean, it really does, like... I wish it wasn't a $5 mod. I wish... I wish it was using more of a custom asset, I suppose, that we could use for decoration. Let alone, like, the pirate assets that this mod uses.
For something, boss?
I truly feel like maybe to warrant the $5, you put in something new and unique. This is not a pirate hab.
Yes?
In fact, this is the same hab I have going in the Bad Fish. But there is something above it. I didn't know this. I didn't remember this having this many stores. Oh, it's the workshop. Okay. Perhaps I can articulate that better. Yeah, it's a cool mod. I just wish some of these assets would be available for free building. Like, maybe, like, she doesn't offer empty versions of these habs now, which is understandable. But you could, with the same lighting going on, that same red kind of lighting, and then you could also offer just some build assets, the pirate flags. Hell, maybe that is that screen, the pirate logo. You know, maybe there's not many of them. Maybe at best you got 10 things that you could steal from the pirate base and put them in this mod as assets.
I knew you'd get bored without me.
And the reason being is because I feel like as these assets do get released, someone will be able to. I guess the fear that somebody would be able to replicate this for not $5. Yeah, the bar lights. Suddenly, that would make it unquestionably worth it. But especially if there were some custom assets. I can't stress that enough, just because I can see that all of the assets, or the vast majority of them, will eventually be. 1 second. It's a dead bug. It's a dead bug is what it is. No worries, Zero. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's kind of like that. Can you actually sit in them? Yeah, you can. I'm only surprised because a lot of the stools that I play, so it's like, yeah, you don't have enough room to actually sit in it. Let's see what other mods are worth mentioning. Oh, while I'm playing her. Alright, I got Observatory, which was free. It's the Observatory building. Haven't really used it. The Blackout Drumbeat skin, haven't used it, but it was free and it was made by Bethesda. Shades Immersive Looting. Great thing about it is the Shades of Immersive Looting, you can strip a corpse. So, unlike in previous Bethesda titles, a la The Elder Scrolls or Fallout, you know, when you kill somebody, you can take their clothes and their equipped weapons and whatever. In this, not so much. It's more like random what they let you take, and their clothing is not going to be it. This guarantees that you can take their clothing, rendering them, you know, just wearing their underwear, dead on the floor, and gosh darn it, that's the way it should be, because that's what we expect from a Bethesda game. Is a bunch of people stripped down to their underwear, lying around a dungeon. Shades Immersive Looting does that for you. Playable civilian clothing. It is what it says. You might notice if you play Starfield that the civilians have this whole catalog of clothes that they wear that you can't get a hold of. One thing I haven't tested is whether Shades Immersive Looting, in conjunction with playable civilian clothing, whether, like, when you kill a civilian, you can take their clothing. That's a question I'll continue to have, because I don't think I'm going to test it necessarily. Why? Because you can just craft the clothing. I think is that how you get it? Do you craft it? Yeah, you craft it at a workbench. So it's an okay mod. I mean, if you see civilians wearing a style that you prefer to wear, the only thing is, like, when you put it on your companions, a lot of times their body builds don't complement the outfits, so There'll be some like bleeding through of the skin, some tearing, all that good stuff. But for your player character, that's a good mod. The Inquisitor Build a Farm mod is a mod that I alluded to earlier. Gives you that tent that you almost feel like, why shouldn't I have this available when I'm on a habitable planet? Like, why would I possibly need an airlock? Though I gotta admit, some planets fool me. I'll get there, it's habitable, and then come nightfall, it's not, or whatever. Really, it's mostly nightfall might not be accurate, but weather. The weather, you can't survive, so you trick yourself into thinking that it's fully habitable, but there are times when it's not. Anyways, all that aside, I mean, this is Inquisitor Build a Farm mod is a free mod. That kind of lets you get out of hey, we all live in these specialized, pressurized habs. The Ancient Mariner module. I don't know. I think I would not have gotten this if I didn't have all those free credits. Why? Because it's 1,000. You only get. They say 2 habs. It's 1 hab. It's either furnished or empty. But it's 1,000 credits, making it the most expensive mod. I think that's why I got it, because I thought, well, if it's expensive, you know. But no, it's truly the logic in getting it. I guess I can explain when I switch characters. The cheat room, it doesn't, as far as I can tell, the cheat room doesn't respawn the stuff that's in it. So that's a downside. It's inferior to like cheat terminal, which I haven't seen for Starfield yet, but I'm thinking of Fallout 4 there. Anyhow, easier shipbuilding. What did that mod do? It's not even giving me the description. Makes shipbuilding easier. Yeah, a lot of these are like the clothing mods that I've got. Then I've got a 200 ship crew mod, just to kind of like negate the whole idea that you have to be a certain level to have a certain crew, a certain sized crew. And it also gets past like how small a crew is in the game when you have a ship that could house so many more. Larger ship size limit, just as it says, build bigger ships. I can also show that with a different character. 65,000 vendor credits. Yeah, so, yeah. Obviously a good mod because you hate selling to somebody that's got 10,000 credits. And then you gotta sleep for 2 days to get him to get his money back. Eli Tech, Aerospace, Crimson Fleet. Those are the Crimson Fleet interiors. That's cleaning up the floors in the interiors. That's the XP multiplied times 5. I couldn't help it. I've already leveled up 2 characters. I'm not doing it again. SKK Stalkers and Followers. So that's... There was an FCOM mod for Fallout 4, and they're unrelated. SKK did their own thing during Fallout 4. But allows you to have NPC allies, many of them. Too many if you want. You could crash your system if you'd like. Or the same deal, you can have them attack you. The downfall with this mod is like they have different factions that'll either attack, different factions that your followers will spawn as, but you don't get to choose them. You only get to spawn a random one, tell him to go away if he's not the right kind, and try again. Oh, this is probably my most recommended mod. It's free. It's building rarity. So when you're on a distant planet, every other point of interest is not a man-made point of interest. More than likely, 80% of the time, it's going to be a natural point of interest. So it really reduces the likelihood that you'll run into man-made things. It's certainly not game-breaking, right? Like, especially when you come across two identical man-made things, that's when it's the worst. Like, it's bad enough when it's natural stuff, and you're like, I've been in this cave before, on a different planet. But with building rarity, you definitely get more of a feel like, yeah, I'm on a planet, and nobody's been here. Nomad spacesuit and weapon, so clothing mod. EIT Clothiers Plus. A lot of... That's probably my biggest clothing mod. TG's Luxury Homes. So that one is... I want to say that's 700 credits. So about $7. It's those big Skyrim homes, but it does give you 5 in-game homes. And truly, that's the part of the mod that shines. Like those 5 properties. And some of the miscellaneous assets that they give you as well, whether it's the road, some trees, some prefab gardens, street lights, things of that nature. And in those cases, they seem like things that maybe they didn't get from game. But again, like the most alluring part of TG's Luxury Homes, in my opinion, is the 5 homes that are taken from the game, unfurnished. Just obviously because it fits with the game more than those giant Skyrim houses that it would take forever and a day to fill with decorations. Scully's Emporium just gives you more decorations. It's a disorganized mod. It doesn't put the decorations in the right place. For instance, it'll have furniture listed under... I mean, they're all just kind of lumped in the same place. If there's variants, the type isn't a folder where you can go into the folder and then choose your specific variant. No, they're all just out there. Like, I don't know. Basically, the dude just found assets and unlocked them and dumped them into the decorations folder. I'm complaining, it sounds like, just because I feel like there'll be more organized mods in the future. But for now, I'm using it which kind of sucks, because if I uninstall it, I guess the assets go too. So I'm cautious about what settlements I'm going to use that in. I said settlements, I meant outposts. Same difference though. Vending machines just gives you buildable vending machines. Those be me mods. I think the only way I can, show off... Let's quick save. The only way I can show off the other 2 mods... which 2 mods would those be? That'd be like the 200 crew, the larger ship size, and the Ancient Mariner Habs. The Ancient Mariner Habs, I think, cost $500. That was $5. I'll talk about that more here in a second. But the best way to show those is to load the UC character. Adamant Zeal, because I'm unoriginal and I just use my Mountain Blade name. It's going to take a good long while to load because that's... Yes. So while I would step away, I got to stick around here because it's going to ask me more questions about this load. It's going to say, you've got mods on here that don't match this load's mods, which is good because it will actually list them, I think. I mean, it has so far, when it's just been one mod or whatever. Starfield eyewear is missing? No, don't download it. I got rid of that. Save uses different... The current load order would be great. But what about that eyewear? Yeah, that's fine. Alright, now it's still going to take a long time, so I'm going to sneak away. And you got this guy. I think the cheat room is where he got the uniform. It's a Conde's uniform, but damn it, it's a commander's uniform, and you needed to be a commander for this ship. We'll do an interior tour first.
Never mind. Sorry. Thinking of
Got-
something else.
Got
Yes,
as much
Captain.
got as much crew on
I
board
was
as
hoping you would
possible.
stop by.
Did you want to discuss something?
Nope.
Hey, it's my personal savior.
As
again
you
for the
were.
assist.
Man, everybody's on the bridge. It's exciting times up here.
What's good, Captain?
Good to see you.
You don't have anything to say?
Holler if you need any help, boss.
Okay.
Did you
That our
need my
chief-
help with something?
Who are you? You're not my chief engineer. Oh, that's... Are you every fanboy's...
Do you need something, Captain? I bet you're glad to have me now, huh?
Nope, I'm not. Oh, that's Marika. Never mind, I like Marika. You're cool. I thought that was Andrasia or
Let's
whatever.
talk again soon, huh?
The fantasy model for people that do the main quest. I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed with you either, Sarah.
Hmm?
You heard me. Okay, looking good. Using halves as hallways. That's a sign that your ship's too big. I wanted this ship, this is the Endeavor, I wanted it to be, aside from, is it the Vigilance is the flagship? Aside from, she's got a cigarette. There's my chief engineer, isn't it? Danny.
Hey there.
Hey. It's okay. At ease. Danny. Smoking on the job. So yeah, I like having the extra crew. That's the 200 crew limit. Not that I have 200. I obviously don't. I think I have less than 20. Now we'll be entering the Ancient Mariner Hab, the $10 hab you can get. This isn't the default scheme. This is it spawned in empty, and I decorated it. So what are you getting? You're getting a wood grain and this interior wall with the windows. That's it. You're getting it decorated or undecorated. Now the real nice part about it is you're getting assets. I don't think the globe's one of them. I'm trying to remember what is one. If these, I don't, are the chairs part of it? Maybe that chair is. I think you do get a chair. And that it's a new asset, it means that, it's not just a retextured. And so it's got like 20 of those new assets, which I feel like, I might be wrong about this, but I feel like if a modder were to do something with those assets, reskin them or whatever, you would need this mod probably as a prerequisite to downloading those mods. Say they were free mods or whatever. Because yeah, you would need that lamp in order for somebody to retexture it. So that to me was the real appeal of this, and maybe it doesn't justify the price for sure. If I had actually had to spend $10 on it, one, I don't think I would have. Well, maybe, I don't know, but but that would be why. New assets, not reused from the game. And that's why I feel like maybe Eleanor's pirate mod, if only she could have added some assets, new or otherwise, it would have been more appealing. Even though I do like it. It sounds like I'm complaining about these mods, but I haven't found one that I hate yet. I just know the pricing is a little off. Particularly for this one, and people do keep pointing out where, like, yeah, it's just 2 habs, and again, I feel like, no, it's just 1 hab, decorated or not. But again, I feel like that's sort of an unfair criticism, just because, no, you get like 20 build assets. There's one, a wooden weapons case. That bed is one. That chest has no limit, I believe. Yeah. These rugs, although I have seen these rugs in another mod, and that makes me question my logic on a lot of that stuff. I'm thinking my character's hungry is what that noise was. He's on more of a survival mode. He's got to eat and whatnot. Let's see if we have food. Seeing as this is his lifestyle, I would hope that he does. Yeah, he's got plenty of food. He learned his lesson. We'll have the alien scramble. And some sparkling water. Delightful. Oh, that's right. He wanted Yeah, we're gonna add vending machines to this ship, probably at the galley. Just because I thought, I almost googled. The United States Navy ships, do they have vending machines? My guess is they do. My guess is that PepsiCo or Coca-Cola would be all too happy to sell them or at least them vending machines, and they'll just give you the vending machine as long as you're buying the product. But You know what I mean. This is the engine room, obviously. Sometimes I like to do that, like where like I have space between habs, I leave it empty and kind of like put some gear in there, and then put a window, as if they, they have to visually check it. I gotta put my boy to bed, meaning I gotta wrap up the stream real soon. Sorry, took my eye off the screen. Let's go downstairs first. Downstairs, further away from all the living quarters. That floor that we just came from, that's the center deck. I guess what, B deck. It's everything from, it's the computers, it's the bridge, it's the CIC, it's the did I say engine rooms? Yeah, it's all that stuff. The only living quarters on that floor, on that deck, are the captain's quarters and the ancient mariner hab. Because this is more for like dignitaries and whatnot. Because you can have a meeting up in the galley or whatever, but this is, bringing people aboard. They like to use that room. Okay, down to C deck. The hold, basically.
Did you need something?
Shut up, Andreja. Nobody likes you. Everybody acts like they do. You're in all the thumbnails, aren't you? But here you're down in the hold. You're not wearing your provocative religious gear. This is the brig. We like to have that down in the hold because obviously that's like where our entryway is, like if you're boarding the ship. There's the armory, confiscated goods and otherwise. Imagine this is all confiscated and then back here will be our stuff, if I ever get to decorating it completely. I wonder what that door leads to. I almost think that that's not supposed to be there. Oh, just another supply room. Like beyond security. Beyond security. I like this hab. I forget what it is. It might be the armory hab, but I left it empty. So it makes for maybe a more interesting hallway, just because you have these partitions here. Kind of nice. This is the cargo room. And for a while, I just used the empty version. I tell you, I loved it. I almost wanted to set up a bunch of mannequins as if like you had troops in formation. Essentially because you had this big empty room, black shiny floor, almost, I dare say, looked imperial. And I don't know how much cargo a warship would be using. This is probably a cruiser class, because again, technically it's the second biggest ship in the UC fleet. It's bigger than the typical build parameters allow, but I did stop short. I didn't want to make it bigger than the fleet's flagship. I thought that would be wrong, you know? Got a lab and an infirmary down here as well. Essentially all the things, like, because this is the main entrance. If we're on the ground, this is where people would board the ship at, right into the cargo bay, so ease of cargo loading. But also you might be in a situation where the people you're bringing aboard your ship need the infirmary. After all, I would say a lot of the ship's missions would include humanitarian. So the infirmary and the lab being down here as some of the first things you would see makes sense. Gives them a good capacity to help Oh, I don't know, all sorts of situations. Also, having the brig down here, makes sense as well. But nothing really in terms of like crew quarters. It's where they work, not where they sleep. And that is mostly true for B deck as well, with the exception of the captain. And if I did make the ship bigger, probably other officers, aside from the captain, would sleep on B deck, but that is not the case. Okay, now we're on A deck. This is the highest deck on the ship. Another empty hab just to be used as a hallway, which, again, I kind of love. A lot of this is going to be living quarters. This one was empty, so I decorated it kind of a common room. On both the port and starboard side of the common room, you have sleeping areas. Not really, though, because everyone comes with a galley. I saw a mod where they double the beds and get rid of the galley, and I might install that because it makes more sense. I know you're in space, so floor space is not as much of an issue, but still, keeping costs down, you would think that it would be. Okay, so all of this is in the stern of the ship. What is this? Oh, just another entrance to that sleeping quarters. Another entrance to the sleeping quarters? Yep. Another entrance to sleeping quarters. Storage for the galley and the galley. Yeah, I want to add those pop machines in here. That'll be nice. That'll spruce the place up a bit. Might even put them in here over the sign that says menu to be determined. That way we can roleplay like our menu is determined. Which is the only way to roleplay, in my opinion. Oh, I gotta get rid of that. I was using that to kind of cheese the system. Honestly, just ranking up on research up here. So that is the galley. I mentioned that they might be more likely to have meetings up here using this room or whatever. And I could see the officers dining up here much more often than they would dine down in the Ancient Mariners hab. Just because I don't think they'd want to clean that very often. It sounds like a whole ordeal. They, again, really only use that hab for, you bring an ambassador aboard or a group of civilians, maybe their leaders would come up and meet with the captain here just to try to put on a good show. Anyways, I'll give you an exterior look of it, then I'm going to wrap it up. Sarah is kind of, well, let's call her Lieutenant Morgan or Captain Morgan. We'll go with Lieutenant. So she's got a slightly different uniform since we want it to denote a higher rank. So here it is. And yeah, it's too big for the camera. Okay, so what I think I ought to do, let me see. Go to photo mode. No, wrong button. Or don't hold down the button. There it is, the Endeavor. Using that ship size limit mod, I've made it as big as I could, and it's still able to land on the designated landing pads for planets. It will glitch through crates and stuff because it's bigger than ships are intended to be. That said, it's like I said, the second biggest ship in the fleet, so I would consider it like a pocket battleship or a heavy cruiser, which is essentially a pocket battleship. Um, the guns are tucked into there. They're automated turrets, so I don't control them. I only turn them on or off. By default, I want to say 4 of them on, and the other 6 are off. Just so if we slip into a combat situation, I've got some guns going while I'm allocating power to the other batteries. The bridge is not hidden on like my Galactica build, my Battlestar Galactica build. The cockpit really is tucked deep inside the ship. I mean, you can still sort of see out, but you're looking past other halves. This one, it's still a hidden bridge. I wanted to make it. I mean, I seriously considered just putting the bridge inside the ship and walling it off, which I know would be very unimmersive if you entered the bridge. But my thought process being is I play this ship in third person, and the major part of my thought process is it's a military ship. Like, I'm sorry, Star Trek, but windows are a big no no. Or Star Wars. But windows are a big no no. Like, no weak points like that. Nonetheless, I undermined my own reasoning by making it somewhat visible. Still, slightly hard target, especially since you got to get amidships, and that's right on the level of the guns. But I do like that from like any angle above or below, you can't see the bridge. You might just assume that it's aft on the dorsal, like up top. The color scheme I went with was the blue and gray in remembrance of lives lost during the American Civil War. No, just because those are the colors for the UC. But also the Civil War, the dead people from the Civil War, and slaves, and women's rights as well. Almost looks like the ship's moving there. Look at that. Whoa, it really does. That's a way to film it without. Because the problem with photo mode is, oh, dude, you could get away with that. You could film something and it looks like the ship's moving, and you're getting a. Oh boy, now that makes the creative mind juices warm up. Because sound effects is easy, right? I mean, could you do this too? Could you do the obvious, like, kinda? You could do that, but no, because once you get back to the thrusters, you realize only at a distance does it not matter with those. Like there. It's cool though. This is stupid, sorry. I'm doing it anyway. I mean, could you could you kind of film it like it's heading towards the planet? Could you ever? Let's see. I kind of. I guess you'd want to. That's as far back as it lets you go. Okay. I mean, you could still work with that. Yeah. Might take a few tries and some clipping out the beginning and end, but there it is in reverse, leaving the planet. Now you could film your space drama. Finally. No, I couldn't, because I couldn't get the NPCs to do what I want yet. That will happen. I'm confident that that'll happen through mods. But that's my ship. That's the Endeavor. 2 mods at play there. It's just the extension of the crew, which is a module. It's just a thing you clip to your ship. So that's handy, because for me it's probably hidden. I use the glitch a lot anymore to hide. That's the other thing, I think, with a military ship, like, no exposed anything, right? Like, you don't want to expose your grav drive or your, certainly not your reactor. They kind of do, though. Like, there's one of them, right? That's the reactor down below. But the other stuff I hid on the interior, the shields thing, and I tried to get creative, and like you can see the little hatches. Like, it's in the slit. Next, in between the guns, there's these little hatches, and they've got green trim on them and a bright green center. Because they're on the starboard side, right? And so on the port side, it's red, but it's a lot harder to see because I think I made the red too dark. Yeah. Trying to give the navigation lights feel, but it didn't really work. Or it worked better with the green than with the red. Thanks, Zero. Yeah, I like it. And just really obviously a ship like that would have a bigger crew than what, 8? Is that what the default is? And so I like being able to walk around and like there's people at the different control stations. And yet I still think I'm going to add maybe 5 more crew members or something, just to have even more seats filled. I guess as long as performance is okay. There's something else like for immersion's sake. I love that you can use the nav panel here. I mean, so I can jump from here, right? Like navigate from here. But then when you do jump into another system, you're back in the driver's seat. And if in third person, it works pretty seamlessly. It isn't until you basically stand back up again that you realize that, oh, I'm in a pilot seat at this point. I guess I almost wish you could fly the ship third person in combat, but do all your navigation from a panel like this. I'm confident that even in a ship like that, certainly with a nautical ship like that, you do still have a helmsman, but the commander is not, commander's probably just looking at a table and maps and making calculations from there. Anyhow, that is going to do it, because I got to get this boy to bed. I've let him stay up exceedingly late. Truth is, I know I'll keep playing, but I don't think I'm going to fire up another stream. I think I'll switch back to Gidget and try to get her drug production going. Either that or I might play a little Police Simulator. Police Simulator sounds pretty chill. I might do that. Gotta tell you, I love the highway patrol aspect of it. I guess it's that part of police work that I felt like was missing. And the car chases, even though they could be a little more dynamic, it's about time that game has cars speed away from you. Like, now I just wish they'd do it in the middle of a traffic stop, because I know we've all seen that. The cop saying, like, oh, just stick right here, I'm going to go run your ID. And car takes off. And every time I think, cops got your ID, man. Should at least have gotten that back and then taken off. Anyhow. Hey, as always, I want to thank you for being here. Zero, thank you. You have a great night. You have a great night as well. Mr. Odd Noble, thank you, my friend. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Alhoon, thank you for stopping by. True Flat, Water Draco, and any lurkers that may have been out there tonight. Your time is always appreciated, and I wish you well. As always, this be your homie Automatic. If you like this, and if you subscribe, what then?